Hello, my name is Nicolas Polymenakos. I work behind the scenes here at NORWAC, the Northwest Astrological Conference that is happening May 21st to May 25th in person and online. Today I'm with Stephen Forrest. Hello, Stephen.
Hey,
Good to see you. Stephen, can you believe this? There's this the 42nd NORWAC
wow. Yeah.
conference.
Wow. Yeah. I hit a lot of those early ones. I knew Maggie and Albanian really well. And I feel like family when I'm there.
Yeah, you definitely are. You have a history of doing lectures, keynotes, workshops there over the years.
Yeah.
It's great to have you back this year.
Yeah, thank you.
You're in deep here on this conference weekend. You're going to start it off with a pre-conference that's going to happen on Friday, May 22nd at 9 a.m. The pre-conference workshop is called Nodal Aspects, which are fascinating to learn and to know about. I'll read a first sentence of the
Yeah.
copy here. It says, planets that form aspects to lunar nodes crystallize the actual story of a prior lifetime. They tell us what happened, who did what to who, and the effects of it all remain alive in your soul today. Tell us a little bit about
For
the
sure.
workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fundamental to evolutionary astrology is the idea that basically reincarnation, that we have stuff left over from past lives, which sounds a little abstract, except the karma has ripened, which means we're going to see it in this lifetime. And so if I make something up and it's not true, you'll know it because it will be absent from your lifetime. And so the idea is that in this workshop, we're going to be focusing on planets that make aspects other than the conjunction to the south node or to the planet that rules the south node. Those are what talk about the circumstances that we're faced with, the node, south node itself and its ruler. It's like who you were, like we have character and plot, in every creative writing course anybody's ever taken, character and plot, and character is the south node and its ruler. Plot is everything else that impacts it. So we're going to be focusing on how to create a storyline with the implication being that storyline it's going to be a sad storyline or a hurtful one because if you got it right, it wouldn't be your unresolved karma. And we're going to see the fingerprints of that storyline in the present life. But hopefully the real bottom line aim is that we're helping people put a different and better ending on the story in this lifetime. That's the healing work.
Yeah, I like what you brought in here about the use of story too, and how one can maybe see things as part of the story that's happened so far too, and also feel like they can co-create the rest of the story by
Yeah,
understanding things
yeah,
about their chart. So
exactly.
yeah, that's you're gonna do that amazing workshop here that's happening Friday, May 22nd, a pre-conference lecture. If anybody is interested in Stephen's workshop or anything to do with the conference, you can go to norwac.net. The schedules are there, the speaker bios, pre and post conference workshops. You can see everything, the rates, anything you need is at norwac.net. But your story continues, Stephen, through the weekend.
Yeah.
When we get to Saturday, we'll have a lecture at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday, May 23rd. This lecture is called Hard Aspects in Synastry. I mean, as astrologers, we get this question a lot about like, is this person the one or can we match, right?
Yeah.
And it's not, life isn't perfect. And one person brings their chart, here comes another chart. So tell us a little bit about this lecture.
Yeah, again, another one of my favorite topics. So, in my school, if a student uses the term bad aspect, they immediately suffer electroconvulsive shock. We have no mercy about this.
Yeah.
The word is hard. And for lazy, hard and bad mean the same thing. But if we're not lazy, we recognize that hard it builds character. I feel funny saying that. It seems like such a cliche, but here's real life. If I'm in love with someone and there are some hard aspects between us, so there's some things we have to work out, some things we have to talk about. And if we're all easy aspects, it's like, oh, I feel like I know you so well, we never even have to talk. And after a while, a tradition of not having to talk begins to develop. There's ancient human reality that lovers, partners have a fight. They're mad about something, and they express themselves, and they listen to each other. And 2 hours later, they're washing the blood off the walls, and they're saying, "I'm glad we talked about this.
Yeah,
I love you. Yeah, I love you too." And that rawness of connection is what makes passion last.
mhm.
So it's like the hard aspects in synastry serve a really positive purpose if we get them right.
Sure.
If we get them wrong, we just trash each other and we break up. But that's the kind of standard issue astrological story I want to tell is how to work with these hard aspects and harness them in service of deepening our love and our respect for each other.
Yeah, no, that's great, Steve. And again, that's happening on Saturday, um, at 10:30 Pacific. Again, it's kind of story funny with relationships too, because that's its own story of what happens and how we
Amen.
would maneuver those things.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
um, on Sunday, you're a busy person for this conference.
Yeah.
On Sunday, it's an interesting, fascinating lecture here. On Sunday, May 24th at 1:45 p.m. Pacific. Pretty straightforward title here. The US chart.
Yeah.
Apropos for the times right now, what's happening, what we see, the story of the United States and what's happened for 250 plus years until this point now. Uh, this lecture, I think, too, on the Sunday, too. Sunday lectures are NORWAC are
Mhm.
kind of interesting. I've seen over the years, or there's something different about the Sunday lectures, a
Mm.
certain message that comes across. Tell us
Yeah.
about this lecture here on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, it's a huge subject to cover in a little over an hour. But what I want to be focusing on is the fact that we've famously the United States has just been through a Pluto return. That's a bit behind us now, but we have Pluto heading into a conjunction with the south node of the moon, and so the karma of the nation is sort of the chickens are coming home to roost as far as that goes. Simultaneously, we have the progressed sun interacting with Mars, and war and tension and just the anger in the country is so palpable now. So basically, diagnosing the United States and counseling it about a direction of healing, treating it as if it were a human being instead of 350 million human beings all sharing
Yeah.
their karma. So that I look forward to that. It'd be I think only the second time in my life I've ever talked about the U.S. chart
Oh
publicly.
wow.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because there's obviously a lot of views on this in the astrological world, but I think every view or every person's view of it and their contribution to it just always gives a
Mm,
better understanding. And again,
yeah,
the timing of this,
yeah.
Stephen, like when you were doing this, and actually, I'm glad that you said it's the second time ever, because then we know we're in rare form and we're in rare times. We're in rare times. Like
Uh-huh.
so, that happened Sunday. Again, anybody watching, you're interested. We still have tickets if you want to be there in person, you can go to norwac.net. Virtually, you can watch anywhere in the world. You can see the schedules and the rates. You can go for the whole weekend. You could pick a day you want to go. You can pick pre and post conference lecture. All of it's on norwac.net. The interesting thing with technology, considering you and I are talking with this now that Uranus is in Gemini and Pluto's in Aquarius, and this whole story of how people are interacting and how they will interact with each other, even in the last so many years, what's happened with the internet and tools that we use for better or worse. I think for better, it's been one of the situations that's happened here with this conference that we're able to do a hybrid style in person and online. And during the conference weekend, we also have Q&As that happen with the speakers in between the lecture tracks. You're going to be part of one, Stephen, that's happening on Saturday, 3:10. It's about a half an hour. They happen really quick. The virtual Q&A. It will be yourself and Ryan Butler, Janae Anthony, Rebecca Gordon, and Bear River. I might be facilitating that one, or
Uh-huh.
Laura might be. So you'll be there, Stephen, and it's kind of a free-for-all improvisational conversation that happens.
Yeah, first I've heard of it, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, we do with every speaker. So, I come in or Laura comes in and we kind of help facilitate. And then people ask questions in the chat who are watching at home.
Yeah, yeah,
And
great.
so usually there's a certain question that comes up. And since we have a limited time, it'll be yourself, Stephen, and the other astrologers on the fly just talking about whatever
Yeah.
comes up.
Uh-huh. Sounds good.
So yeah, so I just want to let people know that there's other things too. We have a virtual Saturday night party for people to participate in online. Thursday, Stephen, before it even opens, I'll be online from the hotel, just chatting it up with people too,
Fantastic. Yeah.
like a Mercury and Gemini.
Perfect. NORWAC of all the conferences is always the one that seems to feel like a tribal event. There's
Yeah,
a wonderfully warm family feeling there. I have a lot of gratitude towards Laura Nalbandian with her good social values, bringing in the, diversity, bringing in the
yeah,
younger astrologers. This is a this would be the first NORWAC in which I didn't do a keynote. I was not invited to
yeah.
do
This
a
I
keynote.
was
And
noticing that. Yeah,
no offense at all. It's like
yeah,
I was happy because I know it means that a younger astrologer, gets to step into shoes that I've worn for 40 years or something
yeah.
like that.
No, Steven, it's going to be great to see you there. I'm so happy that you're back at the conference. It's evolved, but still there's some common threads I think from along the way. It's 17, 18 years in a row with me helping out the
Yeah,
crew there. You mentioned in the very beginning, like to sum this up, you mentioned in the very beginning how you went to the first ones when Maggie was running
yeah,
the conference.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think with family, with history, and as with astrology, we're always looking to the past, bring it to the present, and then where we go forward, right?
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
And it
It's
happens
a
within our community too. So, Steven, it's
Yeah.
going to be great to see you there.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, everybody. If you're looking for more info, again, you can go to norwac.net and see all the information there. See you later.
Bye bye.